Attention passionate Dallas Cowboys fans. Latest news. Something big is happening in the NFC East, and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Dallas Cowboys' path to another championship run. A power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before we dive in, if you're a true Dallas Cowboys fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 8,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and fellow Dallas Cowboys fans. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, if you've been paying close attention to the Cowboys lately, you know that things are far from smooth sailing. The loss to the Arizona Cardinals on Monday night was a brutal wake-up call for everyone. And it is not just about losing a game. It is about what that loss could mean for the future of this team, especially with the trade deadline looming just around the corner. The Cowboys, sitting at 3-5-1, are at a crossroads. Do they stand pat hope for a turnaround, or do they make a bold move to shake things up and get back into that playoff picture? Well, based on what we've been hearing and what has been circulating in NFL circles, it looks like Dallas might be considering making a serious splash, one that could redefine their season, and maybe even their future. Let us break this down. The recent defeat, especially the way they got dismantled by Jacob Bryant and the Cardinals' offense, exposed some glaring issues. The Cowboys' defense, which has historically been a cornerstone of their success, struggled to get after the quarterback. Watching Dallas' pass rush get neutralized and their secondary get picked apart clearly signaled that if they want to contend again, they need to make some upgrades. And that is where the trade rumors really start heating up. The buzz is that Dallas has been in talks with multiple teams, eyeing big-name players who could come in and make an immediate impact. Now, the most talked-about name right now is Trey Hendrickson from the Cincinnati Bengals. Hendrickson has been a consistent force on the edge, finishing with 17 sacks in each of the last 2 seasons. That is not just good, that's elite production, folks. Before the season, he was already on the trade block because he couldn't reach a long-term extension with Cincy, but the Bengals did just enough to keep him around for now. Still, the feeling is that Hendrickson might be on the move soon, especially if the Bengals decide they want to rebuild or shift focus to different pieces. And here the kicker. According to NFL insider Jordan Schultz, the Cowboys have already spoken to the Bengals about Trey Hendrickson, as well as Logan Wilson, the linebacker known for his playmaking ability. They've also had discussions with the Miami Dolphins about Bradley Chubb, another talented pass rusher. So Dallas is clearly exploring options, and they were not just kicking tires, they reactively engaged. Hendrickson or Chubb would be immediate upgrades to their pass rush, which has been lacking lately, especially after trading away Micah Parsons before the season. You see the irony, right? Dallas' most feared pass rusher was supposed to be Parsons, yet now they might be looking for that kind of production elsewhere. This is a huge deal because, if you think about it, Dallas' defense has always been their backbone, the unit that carried them through many playoff runs. But this season, especially after that Monday night game, it is clear they need reinforcements. Watching Jacoby Brissett carve through their secondary, finding open receivers and extending plays, was a stark reminder that if Dallas wants to turn things around, they need to add firepower up front. Hendrickson or Chubb would provide that boost. Players who can consistently get after the QB, create pressure and force turnovers. But here is the thing: acquiring a player like Hendrickson isn't just about making a splash at the deadline. It asks about how the Cowboys handle the long term. If they can bring Hendrickson in and see him fit into their scheme, they'll have to decide whether to extend him long term. That as the million-dollar question. Do they see him as part of their future plans? Or is this just a quick fix to get through the rest of the season? The Cowboys have a history of being cautious with contracts, but in a year where they need to make a statement, pulling the trigger on a big trade could be the move that sparks their playoff push. Now let us not forget that they traded away Micah Parsons before the season, which left a massive void on their pass rush. It is almost poetic that now what they might need most is someone to get after the quarterback. They're reactively looking, and Hendrickson's name keeps coming up, because he has proven to be a difference maker, a game wrecker. His last 2 seasons, he has finished with 17 sacks, which is exactly the kind of production the Cowboys desperately need. Fans, think about it. Adding a player of Hendrickson caliber could be the difference between a season that sputters out and one that ignites a playoff run. Of course, making a trade at the deadline comes with its risks and rewards. The Cowboys will have to give up draft capital or some of their young talent and their always uncertainty about how well a new player will adapt to Dallas' system. But if Hendrickson or Chubb can come in and immediately improve that pass rush, that, as a trade deadline win in my book, it could turn the tide for Dallas, especially if it energizes the defense and gives them the confidence to take on the NFC East's toughest opponents. Now, I know some of you might be wondering, what about other teams? Well, the Cowboys guarantee alone in this quest. The Dolphins are also in the mix, and there's chatter about other teams making moves. But Dallas' interest in Hendrickson and Wilson shows they serious. They not just window shopping. They trying to make a bold statement. And in the NFL, especially in the NFC East, bold moves often mean big results. Remember, this division has always been competitive, with teams like the Eagles and Giants constantly in the mix. For Dallas, making a move now could be the difference between fighting for a playoff spot and missing out entirely. And for all the fans watching, it is crucial to realize just how much this trade talk reflects the urgency in Dallas' front office. The team isn't satisfied with mediocrity. They're aiming for excellence, and they know that to beat the best, they need to upgrade their roster, especially on defense. Bringing in someone like Hendrickson, who has shown he can dominate in clutch moments, could give Dallas that extra edge they've been lacking. So what is next? Well, the trade deadline is Tuesday, and it is likely we'll see a flurry of activity in the coming hours. Will the Cowboys pull the trigger? Will they land Hendrickson or maybe Chubb? Or perhaps they'll surprise us with another move. Whatever happens, one thing is for sure, Dallas is looking to make a statement. And a trade for a top pass rusher could be exactly what they need to reignite their season. Now, I want to remind everyone, this isn't just about short-term fixes. It is about setting a tone. If Dallas can pull off this move, it signals that they reel in on competing now and in the future. It asks about building a roster that can match up with the league's best, and that starts with adding players who can change games with a single sack or a clutch play. And before I wrap up, I want to emphasize that this trade talk is just the beginning. The next 24 hours will be crucial, and we'll be watching closely. Whether Hendrickson, Chubb, or someone else ends up in Dallas, it is clear that the Cowboys are serious about making a bold statement. They are not content with being middle of the pack. They want to be contenders, and they're willing to do what it takes to get there. So, Cowboys fans, buckle up. This trade deadline could be one of the most exciting moments of the season. Keep your eyes glued to the news. Stay tuned for updates and get ready for a potential game changer. The NFC East isn't just about winning games. It has about making history, and Dallas is poised to take a big step forward if they make the right move. Now, pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Dallas Cowboys news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead. It's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let's continue with the big reveal. And now, Dallas Cowboys fans, I want to hear from you. What is your take on this potential trade? Do you believe bringing in a player like Hendrickson or Chubb is the right move? Are you confident that the front office can pull off the deal and transform this team's season? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Dallas Cowboys. Remember, this is a team built on passion, on resilience, and on the relentless pursuit of greatness. He'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Dallas Cowboys news. Until then, keep the faith, keep cheering, and let us see what the future holds for the Dallas Cowboys.